Imagine the pre-dawn chill, a biting cold that seeps right through your uniform. You're not in a warm bed. You're in a muddy, rat-infested trench somewhere on the Western Front. This isn't a nightmare. It's the daily reality for millions of soldiers during World War I. Today, we're stepping back in time to experience one of the most crucial, yet often overlooked, daily rituals of trench life, the Stand To. Every single day, an hour before the sun was due to rise, a quiet but urgent command would ripple down the line. Stand To. This was the moment of maximum danger. It was the time when both sides were most likely to launch a surprise attack, using the dim, gray light of dawn as cover. For every soldier, from the fresh-faced recruit to the grizzled veteran, this was the most tense and nerve-wracking hour of the day. The first thing you do is scramble onto the fire step, a raised ledge built into the trench wall. Your heart would be pounding in your chest. You'd peer over the parapet, the wall of sandbags and earth protecting you from the enemy, and stare out into the eerie wasteland of no man's land. Your rifle, cleaned meticulously the day before, would be clutched in your hands, bayonet fixed. Every shadow, every flicker of movement could be an enemy soldier. Your senses are on high alert. The rustle of a rat in the wire could sound like a German patrol. The wind whistling through a shattered tree could be mistaken for an incoming shell. It's a state of extreme, heightened awareness. This wasn't just about watching. Officers would move along the trench, quietly inspecting each man. They'd check your weapon, your ammunition, and your general state of readiness. Are you awake? Are you alert? Is your gas mask within immediate reach? Every detail mattered because a single moment of carelessness could cost you and everyone around you their lives. You'd stand shoulder to shoulder with your comrades, a silent brotherhood bound by shared fear and duty. The silence was often the worst part, thick with unspoken anxiety. You'd listen for the telltale signs of an attack, the metallic clink of wire cutters, a muffled cough, or the dreaded sound of a whistle signaling a charge. Alongside the personal readiness checks, there was a crucial task for the artillery observers. They would be scanning the enemy lines, trying to pinpoint any new activity, any changes in the trench layout, or any signs of an imminent bombardment. Their information was vital for the artillery batteries positioned miles behind the front lines. A quick and accurate report could mean the difference between repelling an attack and being overrun. This was a coordinated effort, a machine of men and metal all focused on one thing: survival. As the sun began to climb higher, casting its first golden rays across the devastated landscape, the tension would slowly, almost imperceptibly, begin to ease. The light exposed the dangers, making a surprise attack less likely. This period after the dawn stand to often brought a strange ritual known as the morning hate. Both sides, having survived the dawn, would often unleash a barrage of machine gun fire, mortar, and rifle grenades. It was a way of saying, "We're still here. We're still watching you." It was a violent, noisy, and terrifying release of the morning's pent-up tension. Once the morning hate subsided and the officers were satisfied that the immediate threat had passed, the order would come: stand down. A collective, almost silent sigh of relief would pass through the trench. You could finally step down from the fire step, your muscles aching from the cold and the tension. You had survived another dawn, but what came next? For most, it was a moment they craved: the rum issue. A ration of rum, usually dark and potent, was distributed to the men. This wasn't about getting drunk. It was a small comfort, a liquid courage that warmed the body and temporarily soothed the frayed nerves. It was a vital morale booster. One veteran famously described it as the most popular beverage in the British Army. After the rum, it was time for breakfast. This wasn't a hearty meal by any stretch. It was usually a piece of hardtack biscuit, maybe some tinned beef, all washed down with lukewarm, heavily sweetened tea. But after an hour spent staring death in the face, it was the best meal you could imagine. The end of the stanza marked the beginning of the day's work. The war didn't stop. Trenches needed to be repaired from the night's shelling, sandbags needed filling, latrines needed digging, and supplies needed to be brought up from the rear. The day was a long, arduous cycle of labor, boredom, and the constant underlying fear of a stray shell or a sniper's bullet. But the most dangerous hour had passed. This entire ritual would be repeated in reverse at dusk. The evening stand-to was another period of high alert, as the failing light once again provided cover for potential raids and attacks. For every day a soldier spent on the front line, he would endure these 2 hours of intense, focused dread. It is a testament to the incredible resilience and mental fortitude of these men that they could face this routine day after day, week after week. When we think of World War I, we often picture the dramatic charges over the top or the thunder of artillery. But the war was also a long, grueling test of endurance, fought in these small, daily rituals. The stand-to was the heartbeat of the trenches, a daily confrontation with mortality that defined the life of a soldier. It was a time of fear, of duty, and of the quiet, unbreakable bond between the men who stood together watching the sun rise over a broken world and hoping to see it set again. Thank you so much for joining us on this look back into history. If you found this glimpse into a soldier's life meaningful, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more stories from the past. Your support helps us continue to share these important accounts. Stay safe, and we'll see you in the next one.